Hello, I'm back with some new juicy content for y'all. For those 2 people that keep watching my content, I see you. I see your beautiful ass beans over there looking at my dumbass videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. Lately, I've been seeing this same old comic popping up on my Facebook feed over and over again in different Facebook groups. And let me tell you, the comment section of this comic is just spicy. People be angry left and right, typing on their keyboards of how this comic is wrong and how it doesn't really teach anything to new artists. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents on this topic because it is an interesting one, and it brings me back in the ye old days when I didn't know how to hold a tablet pen, let alone draw hands. Here is the comic and the culprit that has started this big argument on Facebook. The artist's name is Jinxit. They are wonderful. They have a Facebook page, Facebook account, and a Instagram account, and I will link them their socials in the description below. Please check them out. They're really cool. I really like their art. It's super cute. But back to the topic. I'm not gonna get distracted by cute furry art. Not today, Satan. As you can see, the comic is doing a haha hee funny thing when newer artists are asking you for advice on how to get better, and you just tell them, well, just practice. Practice makes perfect, and if you just keep practicing, you'll get better. Facebook didn't like that. Now, I understand what's the quote-unquote problem in just saying to someone, just practice. You're not really telling them what to practice, where to go to search for how to practice. But here's the thing. Giving advice on a newer artist on how to practice, for me and for a lot of people, can be difficult if you don't know how to explain stuff. If you don't know how to tell a story like Little Red Riding Hood to a 5-year-old, don't expect me to tell you how to practice. I am bad at explaining shit. So when someone asks me how can they get better at art, I just tell them to practice the fundamentals of artwork, which is anatomy, color theory, perspective, and all other shboggles that I'm gonna get into in this video. But I can't really tell them where to look up these things except for just Google it. You'll find everything on the internet nowadays. Don't expect me to just be like, yes, you can find this author in this library and get this book by them and you'll learn everything there is to know about perspective and color. I don't know. I learned that on my own. I had to go to college for like 1 or 2, almost 2 years, and on top of that, just wing it on my own. I honestly can't tell you how I got good at artwork. I only watched YouTube videos, Google, and I struggled. That's how I learned. But enough of me complaining and rambling on in this video. I will try my best, even though I just said I am bad at explaining, to try and explain how to practice. While I scrolled through the comment sections of this comic, I did find some really good pointers and tips on how to practice, which I will be referencing off of as well as putting in my own 2 cents into it. Step 1. Study the fundamentals of art, such as shapes, anatomy, color theory, perspective, and also observation, which plays a really big role when you practice and when you study. Now, how I went about getting quote-unquote good at art. I had 1 year of art college, which really helped me because I was surrounded by people, aka my professors, that taught me how to practice correctly and also introduced me to practicing anatomy and practicing shapes. Also, learning how to observe and see your mistakes. I will try my best to link any videos that will be useful to newer artists. I usually go about looking for YouTubers. I don't really go out of this platform. YouTube is just a very simple way to just type in whatever you want to learn and just go there. Or you can just use Skillshare. I've never used Skillshare myself, but a lot of people have said good things about it, and I trust those people. Not like full-heartedly, but it's online classes, and taking advice from somebody that knows what they're doing, I think it will benefit you in the best way possible. It won't do you any harm if you have that extra money to spend on Skillshare. If not, look up these YouTube videos that I'm gonna link, or just try to look at YouTube videos by yourself and see what works for you. The main thing to study, of course, is shapes, anatomy, and learning how to observe. If you feel intimidated on drawing a body, break it down into basic shapes. It can be anything from a triangle, circle, cylinder, whatever you want it. I see a lot of artists are like, oh, don't draw the shapes in circles. Oh no, don't draw the shapes in cubes or squares. That's not good. Stick what works with you is what I think. There is no wrong way to do artwork, but there is a wrong way to practice, because if you practice in the wrong way, you will hit a brick wall and you won't go anywhere with improving your artwork. Again, I'm not a professional, I don't have a degree in artwork, and I'm not a professor to teach you these things, nor am I as near as being good at artwork myself. So my advice can be taken with a lot of bags of salt, okay? How I learned art, I don't even know. Though practicing these fundamentals first, breaking things into basic shapes, learning how to draw anatomy, learning how to draw muscles, when you actually do draw a human body, it is a good idea to look at the muscles and how everything connects. That plays a really big role on how your final product will turn out. I don't think this is a priority, mostly because I don't really draw muscular men or muscular women or athletic people. I just go about drawing cute anime girls and furries. But sometimes it is nice to know how the body works and how the fat and muscle shape around the skeleton in the body. I noticed that I've been avoiding drawing love handles, and that is this area of the body. I'm gonna post a picture here. I've been avoiding it. I didn't notice it, but observing other people's artwork, I noticed that, hey, actually this makes so much sense and makes the art look so much better. Why haven't I been doing this all my life? So observing and learning from other artists can be also really helpful. Again, I'm sorry that I can't really go much in depth into this. I just don't know how to explain to you how to get good at these things other than try and get into it. Try looking at YouTube videos from people that actually know what they're doing. Maybe even go to the library, pick up an anatomy book on drawing. Not like an anatomy book for biology. Those are two different things. And go off of that. My best friend from college does this thing where she would pick up this anatomy book for drawing and try to replicate and study the skeletal structure of the human body. I don't even know if that is a word. I don't even know if I worded it right. Ignore that. But basically, she studies, observes, and then draws. That's what you need to do when you practice. When it comes to perspective, I don't even know how to do that shit. I'm not good at drawing stuff in perspective. It can be very complicating, very intimidating, but if you don't dip your foot in it, you'll never get good at it. I've been avoiding it like the plague, and I still am avoiding it. I just don't know how to understand it because I have the attention span of a goldfish. Even though when I try to look at YouTube videos and learn, I just can't do it because my brain is like, yo, this is like a 40-minute video on perspective. Do you really want to spend 40 minutes watching this video? We can play Genshin Impact right now. Yeah, let's go do that. It all comes down to you and the resources that you find on the internet. Again, there is a wrong way of practicing. That's why when you do look up things to practice and people that can teach you how to practice, make sure their art quality is of a higher standard. Make sure that that artist knows what they're talking about. When you do eventually find the resources that you need to get into practicing art, don't be scared to do a lot of mistakes and a lot of failed projects, okay? It is fine to flop a drawing. It's completely okay. Like I said in my previous video, your mistakes will only enlighten you and open up your eyes to what you were doing wrong so you can learn from those mistakes, improve those mistakes, and grow from them. Which this brings me into my next step, which is patience. Understanding the fundamentals can be hard and difficult. I am not expecting you guys to just start making masterpieces after a week of studying and practicing, of course not. It took me so long to start seeing my mistakes. Sometimes it's just your ego holding you back because you think that you're already there, but in actuality, you just don't want to admit that you're wrong. Of course, at the end of the day, don't forget to actually have fun while you're doing this. Practice practicing and studying doesn't mean that you have to take all the fun away from drawing. Even when I was in college, we all still had fun and we all still laughed and helped each other out when we were stuck on a drawing. You don't have to take it so seriously. You're not running a marathon here. Art takes so much time, patience, and love to improve. If you feel like you're not going anywhere, even though you're putting your all into this, my suggestion is for you to just step back for at least a couple of days. Don't even look at a drawing tablet or a piece of paper. Just take a break. Maybe read a book. Listen to some music. Go on a walk. Burning yourself out is the worst thing you can do while practicing or just drawing. Sure, we all want to get better at the end, but what good will it do to us when we're already fed up with just drawing because we've been pushing ourselves to our limits? I wanted to point out some other things that I've seen in the comic sections of these posts. A lot of people really complain about people not really helping them explain what to practice. I don't blame those people. Honestly, I'm having a struggle explaining to you guys right now how to practice and study to get better at artwork. It is something that someone has to experience on their own. I can only just direct you to look at some pointers that I've personally seen and it helped me out personally, but maybe it won't work out for you. Maybe you need to take classes. Maybe art books just work out better for you. Everybody learns differently and everybody learns art in a different pace. So a straight answer on how to practice can be very difficult to give to somebody that is just starting out or wants to get better. My advice is to simply try it out on your own, look at some tutorials and some books, and if you want, you can either take classes. There's no shame on actually going to a professional that knows what they're doing and ask for their assistance. Making fun of someone or just being angry at someone for not giving you the advice you were looking for just makes you look like a total goofball at the end. Don't shame those people that don't really know how to explain to you and they just say, oh, just practice. Because 9 out of 10 times, they really don't know how to explain that shit to you. I don't even know how to explain that shit to you. I tried my best to explain how to get better at artwork and how to practice, and even then, you should take my advice with a whole ass barrel of salt. I don't want to fuck up your future. I don't want to make you quit artwork because I gave you shitty advice, okay? I've also seen some really interesting comments. There was this one person posting their artwork and they were like, oh, this is what practicing looks like, and they posted this really beautiful drawing of a illustration of a woman, I think, and I didn't get what she was trying to say with that. She didn't really give out pointers on how to get better. She just flexed that, oh, look at my artwork, this is what practicing looks like. In actuality, sure, maybe you're practicing painting, but to a newer artist, that just looks like you just made a drawing, period. You didn't explain what you practiced. You didn't explain why this is better than your previous work and what you improved on. You just said, oh, this is what practicing looks like, guys. Look at this masterpiece. You plebs need to get on my level. Jokes aside, I don't have anything against this person. I just found that hilarious because I was having trouble to comprehend what they were trying to say. But I hope this video helped anyone. Honestly, giving advice is the hardest thing I can do. I struggle with it every single day, and when somebody asks me like, oh, how do I get better at art? Honestly, dude, I don't know. I can only just direct you to some YouTube videos and tutorials, and you just go off from there. Thank you for listening and letting me let this shit off my chest, because I couldn't stop thinking about this comic and how people were so riled up in the comment sections about this. I'm sorry that I couldn't really record the sketch and line art for this video. I forgot. I honestly didn't think this would turn out better than I expected to. I don't know if you guys mind it. I'm disappointed I couldn't really record the sketching process because it was honestly really fun and the line art was actually pretty enjoyable. Usually I struggle finishing the line art because it's just so intimidating. But yeah, next time I'll try not to forget to record the whole process of sketching out and lining a drawing after coloring it. I hope you beans have an amazing day, week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!